All right. I obviously when I thought I was broadcasting, I wasn't broadcasting. So the massage therapist really, I tried to get in first appointment because they're usually stronger, and she's been having trouble. And she says I only do light to medium now, and most of what she did wasn't even medium. So I'm not sure what kind of injury she has. Right. But she did recommend somebody else. So God will sometimes have me go to her one more time, throw her some money uh, for being honest. I mean, she said, okay, go see this person if you want something more. I don't know. She could be working on a disability also. I don't know. Right. Because you really couldn't, you know, probably she can't do much. But again, she was honest. She told me who to see, and I saw that woman a couple times. I didn't know who she was, and then I saw her. And today I said something while I was leaving, and I think I'll make an appointment with so and so. That's who that person told me to go to see. I said she was right there, and I'd already seen her a couple times. She saw me a couple times, and I said no, see that, and I touched my eye. I said, oh. So she says she does all that because what was hit me in the head this morning was that if I went to someone else, I wouldn't have the expertise of the other woman. Right. So, but she's just I couldn't get in there first appointment because it didn't take for some reason. I don't know if they hacked it or it just didn't take, and and what it's telling me to do is I need a bigger piece of marble. I need a piece, and I've been looking for it. I can't find it. I need a piece of marble that's 36 by like 11 or 12, and then I'm only going to use two of the uprights for the altar. So they want the altar to be one piece because I have it on three separate single pieces. Well, two is a big number with God too. Three, I've explained that one a lot. Right. It's not just Trinity; it means a lot of different stuff. And Trinity means something different to me, right? Than what some churches see it as. No, because it's not good for man to be alone. So let's look at what they're doing to me in these churches and in these psyops and all that. They're trying to cause me to be alone. Okay. So again, that's very early on in the Bible. It is not good for man to be alone. You're violating that on you. So if you're in LDS church and you're out there playing me, I know there's no protection in what you're all doing. You're all insane, and you're devils. And you're not just a sinner now. You're a devil. You've elevated yourselves. And it's not everybody in the church. That's obvious, but right. So there are church people in here with me. I don't know if they know what I'm saying, but again, you can have an interaction with another person opposite the present body. They're high up in our ward at a minimum. No, it's not supposed to be. If a person comes to church, they come to go to church. They don't come to be played by psycho devils and their minion. Who was that? Was that? Who was that? Oh no, something. There's people actually in the ward that I think are in here. I mean, you can't be sure. Satan can play all. That's why this is a gift, and the gifts won't. Remember, Paul said the gifts will fail, right? So it doesn't always work. Right? Hmm. I went to Ross to see if they had any marble over there. They sold the one I was kind of steered away from. I probably should have bought it. It was like $10 or something. It was a really nice piece of marble. It was a box with an elephant on top, but I could have took the lid off and just used it. Okay, so what I'm noticing now is I expanded my food away from just curry, and I'm thinking I'm not as well. So again, this would make sense to me. Right. So part of it is eating Indian food. I got to tone down the hot spiciness of it, but mm-mm. But for years, I would take like two. What's that brand called? I bought a generic, but it's an antacid. One is magnesium. But you have to be careful because it messes up the absorption of like allergy meds and stuff. Uh, Gaviscon. So it's a generic for Gaviscon. I take two a day. So what's happened is I've been pushed away from that. Again, I've got a craving for alcohol, but really it's turned into a craving for wine, like the Kadoosh wine. Right. So I have to get over here to Walmart and buy the grape juice. This Friday I'm going to do a Kadoosh. Kiddush. Some people say Kiddush. For some reason it's coming out Kadoosh. So again, what should happen off of that news article is to remind your people that the Brady Act is not for personal use, right, or corrupt use. So when you go to roll call, if you still have roll calls, I don't know, maybe you people like sleep in. Oh, we don't want to disturb them for roll call. Actually, you could do a roll call via video now if you wanted to. So I wouldn't have a problem with that. Everybody gets in their car, goes straight to work. Get straight to patrol, and then you do your roll call kind of. They pull over the side of the road somewhere where they're on patrol, but they're experiencing roll call. It could also be pre-recorded. Well, they should be told. You should reassert what something like the Brady Act is for. Brady Act, committing somebody, or hold. I guess they call it a safety hold. They heal this young child. You're too far away from your mother. Get up there. They both looked at me. Mom's walking pretty quick there. She's late for something. Right. They can't hear me. But yeah, maybe they felt something. Could be a sham. So we got to make sure. I thought also, we don't know what it is yet. One of the worst things you can think of is that an officer says that a teen's crazy, and then does something sexual to the teen. Oh, that teen's crazy, right? So so again, I don't believe it's that one. I believe maybe they did a spiteful Brady Act. You want to say that kid, you're gonna do this to you or something. Right. Which again, nothing wrong with telling ICE that they don't go over the line. No, we're not saying you went over the line, but again, in operations at the level that ICE operations are going on, somebody's gone over the line and done something wrong. Okay, I just know that. It doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out. So again, we need to keep reminding them that there is an ethic. They need to think about that when they can. Right. Correct. And the other thing doesn't work. Eventually, you end up getting God, right? Or somebody does. Again, you get away with it 100 people 100 times, and then the 101st, they get God. That's so weird. I mean, with the black people, I guess they can't block it. Like I'm seeing black women now, which means I'm in with black women. No, I could have married a black. I'd marry anybody, man, that was real. Right. Thanks, Larry. That's what they do. They block each thing individually. That's how that watch works. It's corrupt. I didn't bring my paint with me. I got to return my paint. I got to get some stuff here. It's actually blocking me from what I need. I got to go in. I can't just sit down here because they'll say, "Oh, he sat out there and then he left. What do you think he's doing?" I'll write that up. He sat out there and then he left. And tell him what you think he's doing, even if it isn't true. That's how they are. So what I would do, as I'm saying here, is I would reassert the requirements for all of that and what it's used for, instead of maybe thinking you can use it for personal use or group use for crop purpose. Thank you, Larry. I gotta get inside. Trying up this kid. He's one of the cart guys. Looks like somebody's put a spell on him. Put a spell on you. I can't think of what I need. I needed something here. I wanted to return the paint. And I want to look at other paint, but I don't know if I think I wanted to go. I remembered what clear worked for me. I ordered the acrylic clear, which sometimes has a white haze, and it did that to me. It was the chalk paint clear from Rust-Oleum that worked for me. The drapes, the faucet up on the drapery mount for the crossbar and all that. That was a gloss, like Moroccan red gloss, I think is what it was. Should have brought that paint back, darn it. Should have got it out of the car. Trying to figure. Oh, okay, yeah, I know. I said what about that. I think it's down here. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Yeah.
Toda vez que tem isso, aí a gente passa a ter mais cuidado.
That's really weird to me. You heard him speaking Spanish, I guess. I got my blue line hat on, so might have freaked them out. They're standing in front of where I need to go. That should be happening. Right. What happened is I used up all my black beans, and I'm partial to, for some reason, all of a sudden I shifted to partiality to pinto beans. Right. Maybe it's because I'm doing the Indian foods. They tell you to use garbanzo, but I mean, you got to cook garbanzo beans so long to get them. I actually have dry garbanzo beans, and I haven't found no salt garbanzo beans here, or no salt added. Right. So I got to actually make them from scratch, which, if I think about it, I make extra, and I make a whole container full, and then I just cook it forever, in the pressure cooker before I need it, and then I won't be like, oh my God, I can't wait, Trying to think of what I needed. outside of this. Now there was something. Yeah, they get really freaked out over the blue line hats nowadays. I was just in Ross and somebody looked at me. It looked at the daughter and the mother. Okay. Thanks, Dave. So that's picking up. I told you that picks up. I got to get back out to the massage beds too. Two, 24, 12. Toilet paper. Making sure it's actually cheaper to buy the larger one. Let's heal this child. You know, how many children I've healed in my lifetime? It's just insane. It's just an automatic. You see a young child, you heal them. See somebody disabled, you heal them. See an elderly person, you heal them. Should be automatic. Sure. I know I'm missing something. Trying to like scan my apartment. What do I need? No lie, if you want some quick black shoes to wear to church, get the Dr. Scholl's. Quick, low price. Get the Dr. Scholl's from Walmart. The ones, you know, I don't know. You have to put an actual insole in it, though. If you know, not everybody needs it, but I mean, it's comfortable that other way, but a real insole. I'm in a great. The price are great. I mean, everybody else is like twice the price. Okay. And they got the wide sizes and all that, extra wide and all that. See, I wish they make pita like the pita or a wrap with no salt, like they do the bread from Ezekiel. I just, you know, when you're trying to battle sodium and you have a choice of, you know, 100 grams or zero, you go with 100. You don't go with 100. You go with zero. It's a freebie. Well, it has enough in it that it has flavor. And then I use that ketchup. It's like, it's got, they use potassium chloride in it. Right. I'm missing something. Oh, I could buy that. Right. I could buy the other clear. Right. I should have ordered it. Getting ready to order paint. Well, I have to paint the. What I'm thinking is, I thought I should do the primer. That's what I was going to buy. Right. So I could do the red primer and then paint like a terracotta kind of color. Right. And then, because I'm thinking the secret might be. Actually, I don't want to wait on the clear. I might have to use a gloss clear coat. Is what I'm getting at. Because then the oil just, because anything that's not, it's going to be gloss anyway. But anything that's not gloss might actually not repel the oil sufficiently. Right. So then it gets oil coated. So like if I use that triple thick, they have like the triple thick gloss glaze. Might be what I need to use. A gloss clear poly. Because that may be similar to glazing. Right. Those people over there. So I heal. I do heal. Like, if you heal, here's something for all you last people. If you heal immigrants, they'll self-deport. Because the only thing that's keeping them here is the people that want the cheap labor. It's in the mind. It's in the mind. So you heal them. Right. So if you heal the immigrants, they'll self-deport and then they'll find a job at home. You see how that works? Great. Well, that's one of the problems that we're having is that the mind of those other countries are what caused the fall in those countries. So the same thing's happening here now because they're here and they got money from, narcotics distribution. And then, other things, money trickles out to their community because I'll tell you, Latinos are supremacists. Latinos are supremacists. Majority of Latinos are supremacists. So they're downing. Again, that's why they blocked me for money because they knew anybody comes along could down me because I don't have money. Right. Should have got this one. Thank you, Larry. Not hard to figure this stuff out, Actually, I have to come back later probably for all this. I don't know. Polyacrylic. Ultimate polyacrylic base. Here it was. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably figure this all out all over again. Oh, excuse me. No worries, ma'am. No worries at all. Now there's somebody's way. Thank you, Larry. She's a shop. I think she's a shopper. I could have married that woman. I mean, she might be married. I haven't looked. No, I'm not sexually fantasizing about her, like they all would say. I just can see. Like I'm a matchmaker, so I can be a matchmaker for myself too. I can see. Right. That's what matchmakers are. They can see who with who. Right. Now it doesn't always work because if you're a matchmaker, again the same thing. If you have corrupt intention, then you can't be a matchmaker. Right. Nice with chalky smooth finish, which is what I prefer. But right. I probably do need some red oxide primer. Oh, because I don't have that. I usually keep a can of that all-purpose Kobe Red. Thank you, Larry, for being. I I don't know, maybe at the most 10 years younger, but probably not that far. Thank you, Larry. Okay, here's Rust-Oleum Traffic Glaze. Clear high gloss coating. Oh, is it durable? Ew, no, my goodness. I have to look this up. What's the price on it? It's actually a pretty good price. You can't see it. There's only one left. Oh, there's two. It's actually a really good deal if it is. It's a high gloss coating like a glaze, but it's a paint. Now the question is, how does it react? Does it react the same as glaze, or is it just a shine? I'll have to look before I purchase it. Well, I've decided that what I actually need for the lamps is probably a gloss, like a glaze, because the glaze, when you wipe the lamp, the oil lamp, it doesn't leave a residue. But when you have primer on there and you wipe the oil lamp, it leaves a residue. So the question is, will triple gloss leave a residue? Actually, you probably wouldn't notice it, I imagine. Probably not. But we'll see. You deal with a handicapped lady who works here? Yeah. I could have married her if we'd have met somewhere else. She seems like a nice person. I always say it. I'll wait to find a apartment. I think they'll cost one of them things. Just kidding. I'm sorry about it. They might be corrupt. They really. No, they're at least malfeasant. Or no, misfeasant. They're at least misfeasant. Yeah. No, fire department at least misfeasant. That's what they craft they're doing. The psyop they're doing. Right. Which again, that could be reason why your fire and your EMS are having trouble with people in the community. Because you're psyoping. Psyoping. I gotta go over here, man. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, just say honest, man. Like I have Walmart Plus, but you're only supposed to do that for the scan and go over there. Is what it says. I know people probably don't do that, but I'm so honest that I won't go over there and use that. Unless I'm doing scan and go. But again, I'm assuming it's aged by grace. That's how I put that in the proper perspective. Because I know you out there. Oh, wait. I guess it's good. Now it's going to want to see how old I am. I got the paint. Thank you. See, I just upped here too. So again, there's also like if I up you outside the system, it won't acknowledge the up as much. But if I up you within the system, it'll acknowledge the up. So because she came over here and helped me with my spray paint because I wanted to verify that I wasn't some kid that was going to huff it. And then she gets an up from that, and then it takes better because the system agrees with that. So the system is actually, if it is corrupt and it denies the up and denies credit and all that. But at a certain stage of the game, it becomes so corrupt that it destroys itself. So that's the question: will the old golden age happen, or will it actually destroy everything? This lady. Actually, let me. That's them. They said don't. I don't know if anyone's physically here saying that, but that's their spirit. Now you don't do that to somebody that's disabled. But be anybody that doesn't want to be disabled. You know what I mean? No, the system actually was. I was routed away from real women, and like it would be acceptable that I could marry and all that. And we were looking for a guy to marry. Like women would look at me and wouldn't think I would want to marry him because I, was so fit and looked pretty good. But I wouldn't see them. I mean, physically, I wouldn't be there. Well, because you can only marry who you can marry. Right? And then, of course, if I would have tried anyway, the system would have destroyed it, or the corrupt system. They would have physically managed it to make sure. Then they start with the why would we do that? Right. Because it's not good for man to be alone, and you want to put me on God, so you make sure men are alone, and then try to make them gay. That's what they do all day. Thanks, Bert. Right, so that's part of that operation in that church. That's what they're attempting to do. Oh no, I just looked at the Aletha Flyer guy when I said that that's what they're attempting to do. Maybe it's real. Somebody just said, I think it's Mother Mary. Just said, you know it is. Well, I was always right. I told you that the Yogi Bhajan people were having issues, and maybe some of them were sexual and all that, and they were trying to put that on me, But it came out, and years later, that they were a sex cult. Right. I was a real chic person while I was there. I don't care what they were. Right. It doesn't put anything on me. Just like I was a Hare Krishna when I was at the Hare Krishna. I do the best I can to bring about the reality, And I study the scriptures like no one else. All right, thank you, sir. You have a great day. So, well, they don't let you progress because they're told not to let you progress. So they take over the system. So although I had the input of a Sikh cleric, the first day I was there, there was no return. Because they own the system. And if they're told not to let you progress, they don't let you progress. So nothing's real, really. It's just the group of people. If the people are honest within the system, then the system will give you. If you're not getting, then it's BS. What they did, like I said, Monica, my homeless friend, they said to her that you're holding back. There's something wrong with you. No, their system wasn't given her. Right. Probably Deep State probably paid him to have her do stuff, or not do stuff. Now, I could have always, they made trouble in Walmart because they knew the Walmart employees liked me. Right. There's actually a woman that worked at Walmart. I wish I'd have actually, tried. I wasn't thinking of it. You know what I mean? Right. Right. There was a blonde woman in Naples. Her and I dated. We probably married. Right. I didn't think of it because I was just, they keep you on edge when you're in there, but you don't want to do it. Right. And then there was also a Spanish woman that got my interest, and then she looked at me like I was wrong when I looked at her. But what the inference was, she may have asked for forgiveness because she's been wrong. Like, hey, where'd the blue line flag from? Did it come from my car? Blue line flag. Is it in my car? Or did it come off maybe it came off the Olathe? That would be a red line. I don't know. I don't even know if it came from my car, but or my van. Actually, it doesn't feel as bad right now. Some of the humidity burns off. It was the humidity, man. It's like crazy. Right. Do you feel the humidity in the afterlife? You spirits that are here? We want to. I hear this woman. I could have married this woman. She Islamic or something. Is she Jewish? What is she? No, I'm not saying it's sexually, even though they're making it sound that way. It's not, but sex is part of marriage. So I don't know. They're saying that the LDS frowns on sex in marriage. I'm not sure if I read that, but again, that tends to be physical, right? So if you're in a religion that doesn't allow it, people are going to steer away that are sexual. But again, I'm not telling people to have sex out of wedlock. I'm not telling people to do anything sexual. I'm just saying that it's not good for man to be alone. Part of that is the sexual, at least here. I don't know if it was in the garden. I don't believe it was in the garden. Right. Well, Paul already agreed that there's two types of people here. One that can abstain from having sex, and the others can't. It's fornication. It's not fornication when you're married. It's fornication when you're not married. Well, somebody was saying that they frown on sex. I don't know. That could have been the answer. There's a lot of anti-people. Because the LDS is so big, and there's so many families, like people are like, I just had to marry this church. So there's a lot of rumors about stuff that's not true. I read the anti-stuff. I read everything. I'll give you a fair shake, but, I've already been somebody tried to sexualize me in your church. I'm in protection. I expect protection. Well, they should crash the car on the way to the church. They shouldn't make it to the church to sexualize me. Right. That's the way it's really supposed to work. It's upside down right now. Thank you, Leonard. God may have let him through just so I could bust. Yeah, gotcha. I promise. I said something about that thing, and I looked, and there was the old Lathrop Fire Department guy standing right there. That's what they're doing, sexualize it, or something. Yeah, I think that's what. I must believe, Larry. I just can't say nothing. So I don't let people talk to me because you all tell me what you're doing when you speak, even if you speak about something different. Maybe I went through it, man. I was freaking out. I'm like, what am I saying? Because it wasn't true. Actually, what I was saying was false. When they killed Luna, they willed it to be me, willed me to look guilty, willed all sorts of stuff, right? I already been cursed for so long. I was lucky to be alive, and I started saying stuff like, "Oh, yeah, that makes me look guilty. What's going on here?" But of course, I was like the most innocent guy. I was like nowhere near any of it in reality. Right, Larry? I'm just now they knew exactly where I was at night. I was being GPS, like I told you. GPS him. We'll show him that he's not doing it. 100%, Larry. Thanks, Larry. I actually had to move into Federal Hill. That was the worst part because John Luna's friend lived in Federal Hill, and I didn't want to look like I was going after her. I was supposed to live in Federal Hill. Right. Theoretically, that's where she lived. Right. But she may not have. I thought she was one of them. I thought she was one of them. I mean, her life did track like she was one of them, but I still don't know. I couldn't get to the conclusion on that. Right. But it does. There are officers that ask, did she do something to him to make that? I don't know. I can't. I don't. Like I told him, I didn't want to know anything about her. People started telling me everything about her and Luna. As soon as Luna ended up dead, everybody was like telling because they knew they were trying to set me up. Right? I don't know. Again, I don't know if it was her or Luna. I just know somebody was right. So the CSOs were trying to save me because I was like the best guy for them. Until after I left, and they were all. Then Norm was on the corner looking at me like I was going to attack the courthouse. I'm like, wait, Norm, get out of here. I should have rolled down my window. What's wrong with you, Norm? But I couldn't break it, I went to the gym, and I was going around the corner by the courthouse, and I'm in my red Amigo, and Norm's on a corner at the courthouse looking at me like I'm the terrorist. I'm like, yeah! He retired Baltimore cop. I think I hired him, too. I think he was one of the guys I hired. Right. Thanks, sorry. I did his background or something. I think Norm was a fix-it man. I think he was like a handyman. I think he did like carpentry and stuff on the side. Once upon a time, you couldn't live on cop wages, so they all had a side gig. Like Jim Spicer, he had the farmette because he was a cattleman. Right. The state trooper, but he couldn't live on that, so he was a cattleman. He had some other gig he did on some carpentry. I don't know. But he used to raise cattle. Norm was a Baltimore cop, if